Season 3 has finally arrived, and with it comes a new mastery grind. Not one, but 2 new mastery skins are available. So in this video, I'll be showing you the 3 fastest methods to unlocking these across multiplayer, DMZ and Warzone. So let's get straight into it. So first things first, what is the event? Is it worth doing? And what can I actually unlock? Well, if you come across the events tab here, you're going to be presented with this page, which is going to show you the number of coins you've got. And that's quite annoying. If you scroll down, these are all the options you've got to unlock, but we're not too focused on these. Some of you might like certain items here, but ultimately we're trying to unlock 10 of these to get this rose skin, and then 15 of these to unlock the Mastery 2 reward. Now each coin is going to be able to be unlocked in the various game modes, which I'll talk about later on the individual ways you can do it. But ultimately here you're going to want to just pick the cheapest ones. Most of them are 30, so you'll probably need 300 coins for this one. And then again, you could need anything up to, I don't know, 400 or 500 if some of these are a little bit more expensive, as these are coming out on the 26th. Looking at them though, I would typically, this was an expensive one, but it's a skin, so I think it's worth unlocking. Otherwise, I'd stick to things like tier skips, XP, just anything like that really, and get it done. To unlock them, once you've got the coins, you just got to click on one, like say I wanted the Trophy Hunter Charm. Do I want to unlock the reward? Yes, I do. And as simple as that, not only do I get the reward, I've got one more towards the rose skin. The first method we'll talk about is in multiplayer. Here, you'll be able to pick up 1 trophy per player killed. This means you can't farm the same enemy player over and over, unfortunately. For instance, in Team Deathmatch, you can only collect 6 trophies, meaning you will need to kill each enemy player at least once and collect the trophy from them. Other game modes do allow you to collect more, such as Invasion, which allows 10, but unfortunately, as you can't back out of the game for these to count, you'll want to stick to them shorter game modes. For that reason, I'm going to recommend Team Deathmatch, but with a slight twist. Cranked is a Team Deathmatch style game mode, but with each kill you get a speed boost and a 30-second countdown timer to get your next kill. Failing to do so will mean an instant death, so the added boost and timer means players move around the map a little bit quicker, allowing the game to actually end a little bit quicker. Typically my games will last in between 6 or 7 minutes, but with a good squad this could be achieved a little bit quicker. The second method is DMZ. Here you can collect trophies from bots which have a high percentage drop rate, from other enemy players, or even from looting these boxes. You can collect a maximum of 12 trophies, but there is a downside. In order to bank these trophies, you will need to either exfil or find a station to deposit them. If you die before doing so, then all trophies will be lost. Station locations are randomized around the map, which look like this. You can also locate them via the map, which look like this. This overall seemed a quick method, but it is dependent on a few factors. Spawn location of the stations, your starting location, the amount of bots you have around you, and lastly enemy players. Spawn locations and bots is less of an issue in Ashika Island, as the map is a lot smaller, which minimises the travel time, but results will vary. In regards to enemy players, they too could be trying to do the same thing, which would result in the stations being busy, or they could still just want to try and take you out. I managed to complete the 12 trophies and exfil in average of around 6 to 7 minutes, but I was generally quite lucky with the spawn locations and ran into 0 enemy players. Lastly, if you've banked the 12 trophies, you don't need to exfil. You can just back out and start again, but I tend to exfil as I wanted to keep the weapon that I was using, plate vests and the backpack, rather than starting with the bare minimum each time, as I do actually play DMZ for challenges as well. The final method is Warzone Resurgence. Just like DMZ, you'll need to deposit at the stations, or this time you'll need to win the game. Trophies are also found from looting boxes or killing enemy players. There's a maximum of 8 rather than 12. Also, like DMZ, you can deposit the full amount and then leave the game if you wish to do so. This method though is very dependent on skill, with a little bit of luck mixed in. The stations seem to be very crowded and tend to be a constant battle to deposit. If you're a good player, then this can be used to your advantage, but for someone who is a casual or doesn't play Warzone very often, I don't believe this is the best method. The results did vary, as some drops I managed to achieve 8 trophies in 2 minutes, other times it was on average between 4 to 6 minutes, and even sometimes I'd die before even depositing. Warzone is a complete mix, so if it's something that is your preferred game mode and you want to collect trophies as you game, then this would certainly work. But if you're solely focused on trophies, then I'd stick to multiplayer or DMZ. So let's compare the two methods I'd recommend, but ultimately I'd pick the one that you have the most enjoyment with, because there's no point playing the same game over and over and absolutely hating it. But breaking it down, starting with Cranked Team Deathmatch, I've got the pros of consistent. You're going to be able to go into games and get 5-6 trophies no matter what. It shouldn't be too difficult. You can level up guns and complete challenges, so you can carry on doing them camo grinds or anything else you need to do. It's not as repetitive. You know, you're going to get different maps, different enemies. You can change guns. There's just so much more sort of different stuff going on as opposed to just loading in the same map. It's quite quick to load in. There's no hassle. You're just straight into the next game. You can play with up to 5 friends, which is always good if you've got a big squad of you, and this will actually speed up this timer. And lastly, if you've got to solo queue, it doesn't really make it too much harder because you just need to get your 6 trophies within that time limit anyway. The cons, you can't back out, so if you do the 6 trophies really quick, you are actually stuck in the game. Maps can be a negative as well as a positive. There's some big maps, boring maps, you can be stuck on these. And lastly, skill-based matchmaking. Although in the Cranked playlist I didn't find it very strong, you will end up playing some good players, but again at the same time you could be playing some absolute bots. Going across to DMZ now, this is by far the easiest method. You are actually shooting bots, they're not very good and they drop pretty quick. This method can be really quick. You're just looting or shooting the bots like said. You could be done in say 2 minutes if you're extremely lucky. If you're a DMZ player, you can complete missions at the same time. And another advantage is you can actually back out once you're done. You're not stuck playing a game mode that you don't really want to be involved in. You can also level up guns on this by shooting the bots, but again camos and stuff don't work. The cons from this though is it is very repetitive, loading in, shoot bots, get out, bit boring. If you die, you have to restart, so that is a complete waste of time. Solo can be quite difficult. You know, if you're on your own and you come against a squad of 3 or they team up and they're in a 6, then you've got absolutely no chance. If you want to play with friends, you've only got a maximum of 2, so you will have to pick your best friends. And the spawn locations can make this a lot quicker or a lot longer, so it's a complete mixed bag there. Now I've done the times at the bottom here, starting with Cranked Team Deathmatch. You get 6 trophies. The average game time that I had personally, this will all vary, is 6 minutes. And the average load-in time was about a minute. So you're averaging a trophy every 1 minute 10 seconds. Now if I go across to DMZ, and I'm purely talking if you don't want to exfil, you literally kill yourself or back out of the game. The number of trophies you can get is 12, and the game time it took me to that point is 3 minutes 30, and the load-in time and out time was 1 minute 30, so a combined total of 5 minutes. Divide that by the 12 and you're averaging a trophy of every 25 seconds or 0.25 minutes. So you can clearly see here that DMZ can potentially be a much faster method. It literally comes down to a little bit of luck with the enemies and spawn locations, and can also be a bit boring. Hopefully this video has helped you guys though, and you understand which one is probably best for you. If it has helped you, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you want to see future videos like this, then make sure you smash that sub button, and I'll see you in the next one.